All right, we are live, and you're going to notice a couple things right away. First, where's Scott? Second of all, what is going on in my face while I'm able to grow a beard again? So I'm growing a beard. Now, Scott. Scott may be joining us later, but here's the big news. Scott has COVID-19. Yes, that is right. I have been tested and do not have COVID-19, even though we were around each other once in the possible window, but we kept a little bit of distance. Now, here's the real bad part. He lost all taste and smell, and it's been gone, I think he told me now, for 11 or 12 days. So he couldn't come on. We kept hoping it would clear up, but it hasn't yet. He actually had poured I think the Lefroy Carchus, the most recent one, and he couldn't smell it. And he said he couldn't taste it. He could tell there was alcohol present because of the burning in his mouth, but he could not taste or smell a Lefroy. Goodness. So Richie Z is in. Mark Stingel's in. Was here early as well. Juan Quintanilla is in. We're doing well, although Scott is feeling okay. He still can't taste and smell, which of course impacts what we do review-wise. So holy moly. Now again, he may pop in. What we're going to be doing today, and then I'll come right back to Scott, is Lost Lantern is an American independent bottler. Now, they couldn't send us full bottles. We usually like to have the full bottle just for presentation sake and, let's be honest, consumption sake. But they did send us a sample, and Scott will have one too when he's able to. Thank you, Malted. No cowbell, ding, 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 ding. We will be trying, or I will be trying, their American Vatted malt. Hello, Scotch doesn't even call it Vatted anymore. I love that they do. Edition number 1. So I've got this little tiny sample, and we'll talk more about this in a second. It's got 6 different American single malts, 3 of which I have here, although I don't think they used this particular one. They used their own barrels. Cedar Ridge, I've got a sample of theirs. Now, I have my own Cedar Ridge American single malt here, so we'll see how it compares to that. And a Santa Fe Spirits sample. They did not have, although they do have available, or they did have available, an Iron Root. And I believe, let me see. Let me tell you what they had real quick. So on their cask 1, Santa Fe Spirits will have that. Cask 2, Cedar Ridge will have that. Cask 3, they went with New York Distilling Company, a straight rye finished in apple brandy. I do not have a sample of that. Do not. And cask 4 was Iron Root Republic. Oh, yeah, they're straight corn whiskey. And I do not have a sample of that. The one that's got me very, very interested is this Vatted malt. And then I'll come back to the comments and questions here, which is a blend. So a vatting of Balcones, and it's 2 different casks from each distillery. And we'll go into more detail of that in a second. Balcones, which of course is in Waco. I got their single malt here. Copperworks, Seattle, Washington. I've not had that. Santa Fe Spirits, Santa Fe, New Mexico. 888. I've not had this on Nantucket in Massachusetts. Westward in Portland. We'd talked to them, but have not been able to get a hold of anything. And of course, the lovely Virginia Distillery Company in Livingston, Virginia. So we'll talk more about this American Vatted malt. The other thing that's real cool, and let me get their names right. It's Nora Ganley Roper and Adam Polonsky are the 2 owners of Lost Lantern, and they've been touring all around the United States and going in and sampling whiskey and then picking their favorites and then buying casks and coming up with these really cool ideas, in this case for an American single malt. Let's take some questions here real quick. I put some of mine on display, and so I can kind of taste compare with what I have. Let's see what some of the talk was, and then I'll go back to Scott. So of course, Swami malted in Montreal gave us the nice $2 ding ding ding. Who else we got? We got Richie Z. We got Ron's wood turning shop and stuff. That has to suck. Can't taste or smell. I know. I just texted him saying, hey, man, do you think you'll be able to get on the show? He assures me he's feeling good, but he still can't taste or smell. Aaron Hardiman, man, can't even taste the Lefroy crazy. Yeah, he said it might as well have been Kool-Aid. I was like, what? Yeah, I ran and got tested. I did a spit saliva test. Hello, that was quick and easy. And they gave me negative results within, I think, 48 hours. And then I did the whole tickle the brain is what I like to call it. Whew, that'll get your eyes watering. Negative. Chris Ruth, she loves Chivas 18. Or he loves Chivas 18. Sorry, I saw Ruth and went, whoop. Gary Cobb, hey, Bart, let's hope Scott gets better soon. Yes, fingers are crossed. Like I said, he may come on. I think he was out doing some stuff in the yard or something. I don't know. Richie Z, hey, Scott, when you watch this later, he's saying get better soon. We got Mark, tastes like vanilla cream. Scott got COVID? Yes, malted. Yes, he does. So he has the COVID. Let's see. Yeah, that's the right deal there. He's got it. Let's see. He was sure I gave it to him too. He's like, you had to have given it to me because I'm out on the street actually dealing with people all the time that could have it. And he's like, you gave it to me. I was like, man, I don't feel sick, but I'll go get checked. And nope, not me. Not yet, at least. Let's see. Richie Z. Okay, just saying, hey, he likes the Marks says he likes the blends. Oh, yeah. We all started with decades back. Aaron Hardiman. I was just saying hello. And a lot of alohas going around from Juan Quintanilla. All right, let's see. Anybody else I missed? Let's see. Andy. Oh, Andy, how do we say it? Aduar. I think we've got everybody shouted out. We've got the super chat from Swami. Thank you. I couldn't even remember the word super chat earlier. I was all blah, 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 blah. So I am going to actually sample the Vatted one last. That's the one that's the most intriguing to me. I love what they did. And when I get to it, I'll get to the list. They're lost lanterns into this massive disclosure, which I think most of us love. Give me more information. If I don't want to dive that deep, I won't dive that deep. If I want all of it, I get all of it. Let's try the Cedar Ridge single cask. Of course, this is Iowa straight bourbon whiskey. I've got Cedar Ridge here, and it is what part? I can't read anymore. Swisher, Iowa. Let's open this bad boy up. Whoops, I had a little Promethean from Iron Root. You can see I dig the Iron Root. We're going to have to make another run to Iron Root just so I can get some more of it. I'm going to save my cognac glass for the Vatted, but we're going to get the Cedar Ridge in here now. And I think I've got a page here. I know I got a page here. I don't think I do. I know I do. Because it's going to tell me some more about the Cedar Ridge. Their first bourbon cask comes from the family-owned Cedar Ridge Distillery, Swisher, Iowa. And as Scott says, if he was here, he'd say, don't read, taste. But Scott can't taste right now. Yeah, I know, I'm laughing, Scott. He's probably watching. Let's see, doing good, thanks. Okay, Maury Cross chatter. I get a little bit of apple, kind of a crisp pear, maybe even. Interesting. No water. I've got a little water here. I'm going to have to grab my dropper. Scotch Trooper's glass. There we go. Dry, a little astringent on the forefront. yeah, moves into, wow, it's still really dry on the finish. But I get this apple vanilla. Apple vanilla, but wow, it kind of whisked me dry. It's like a cotton ball kind of thing. Hmm. I'm also going to try to keep this. We're 10 minutes in. I'm going to try to keep it at about 30. So now if Scott comes in, we'll go as long as he wants to go, but he wasn't sure he'd pop in or not. So let's see. Anything else on this? I get notes that the finish carries and lingers with like a popcorn with that buttered, creamy kind of finish on it. I'm just surprised it's very dry. It's like it's absorbing all of my saliva. We'll set this off. So Lost Lantern talked about how, they like the independent bottler motif. That's my own word, not theirs. The idea that they will go around and sample casts from all over the country and then pick ones that they want or like, and then they can do different things with them, release them in their own way, and also highlight the distillery. I think they referenced that they had listed at least 3,000 American distillers, and they wanted to really go around and find these gems and then release them with full disclosure on what they were and what kind of wood they were in and what kind of proof they're at. So, and they figured, hey, nobody's quite doing that right now. There's some, of course. We do have a few independent bottlers, but they said, you know what? Let's do it. And I'm like, glad you did. All right, let me move here. Let's see what else we got coming in. Yeah, they do list prices. So let's see the Cedar Ridge. It's 120.5 proof. It's aged 3 years. Suggested retail price is $87 for a 750 milliliter bottle. And they ended up with 213 bottles out of the cask. Let's see, non-chill filtered, no color added. And let's see, I think, oh, that's good. That's what I got on the other one. So great information on that. Let's go to the Santa Fe Spirits, and I'll give the information on it up front. So let's see, proof is 120.5. This is aged 3 years. $100 is suggested retail. They ended up with 211 bottles. They are sold in 750s. Again, non-chill filtered, no color added. And they state full barrel details available upon request. Awesome. All right, so let's go to Santa Fe Spirits. Let's pour this bad boy. And then, ooh, what is Mark saying? Italian whiskey infused with anchovies. Hold on. We've got to click on that. Whoa, excuse me. I think the anchovies maybe burnt. All right, and I do have extra ones of these, maybe not Santa Fe, for Scott. Scott, I may pour lightly on that one so you can get a taste of it as well. Let me hide this back down. We'll see what we've got on the Santa Fe. Can you infuse, Aaron says, whiskey with fish? Oh, I'm sure you can. Wow, this got a real sweet nose. Stark fruit. And something else. What do we got? Like figs? And maybe some caramel apple. Ooh. That one punches you up front. I'll have to go back for the forefront there. So I get that malty. I'm kind of getting a lot of that malty creaminess. What do we got here again? Spirit single cask. Single malt. Yeah, definitely that malted barley, creamy, not quite hay, not that mown hay, but the malty creaminess that's there. That's really nice. It's like almost like a buttercream. Mm. Mm-mm. Let me see if Bruno Scott is texting. Maybe yes. Got it. He still doesn't know if he's going to make it or not. Wow, this is really nice. The finish has dropped off a little faster than the Cedar Ridge, but that malted barley cream that's sliding there is really smooth and nice. Let me see. Let me get my dropper. Oh, by the way, we are at 170. Oh, I'm getting it in the way. 178. 178. We're climbing. We're climbing. We get to 250. We're going to be doing another habanero challenge. Another one. This time we'll sample the whiskey first. I'm going to come in and get a little bit of water. Whoop. The rest back in. Let's see how this goes. See if that changes her up at all. Whoa. It's like it got peppier. Man, that changed it a lot. Gave it like a pepper hit. Wow. I didn't expect that. I even thought maybe I put too much water in. Long tradition, peat smoked barley normally. Okay. Man. I'm going to tell you, it peppered it up like black pepper with a touch of the water. I actually like this one neat better because it gave me those malted creaminess things. Let's see. Richard Davis. Hey, Bart, are you celebrating the election? Who won? Testing. You know what? About a year, not quite, maybe about a year ago, I basically quit watching the news. I just did a live show on my board game show, Bonding with Board Games, and my co-host there said they just put results in. So it is what it is. But I found out no matter what channel you watch news-wise, their goal is to keep you watching. That's it. They want you to watch. And they even, I think, all of them try to get you like emotionally mad or involved so you watch more. So I quit watching altogether. I usually read, play board games, and sip whiskey. And I prefer to get my news via a newspaper. I feel like even though they don't get it fast, they'll spend a little more time vetting the news. That's just me. I'm weird and old. My boy was like, why do you read to get news? He doesn't watch TV to get it. He's all online getting his. So I actually wanted him to read an article. He's like, ugh. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'll read a book, Dad. I'm not reading a newspaper. It's like old. I'm like, oh my God. No, what's old is me. I'm what's old. All right, let's see. Yeah, I should have opened up with, let's see, what could I do? I could say, Scott Bruno tested him for COVID-19 positive. That's how I should have broken the news. That would have been better. Let's see. I'll send you a Carolina Reaper. Ooh, yeah, I heard those are scary. Right now, I want to see Bruno do it. He couldn't even taste it. He'd be like, nothing. Wouldn't even affect him. Or would it? Would the heat still get him? I don't know how that works. How does that work? Let's see. ECBP B519 was pepper to me. Interesting, Brick. Let's see. What do we got? Amazon Fire Stick, the way to go. Old shows from the 90s. Well, that's cool. I just don't watch a lot of TV. I read a lot. But I've always been a reader ever since 6th grade. My 6th grade teacher got me hooked on reading, and boom, off to the races. Let's see. Michael Hassler, he gets his news from his smartphone and NPR radio. There you go. That's good. The other thing I do is a lot of books on audio. My goodness. We even have, we're an audio or an Audible sponsor. I think if you put in Scotch Test Dummies, you can get like a free book. We haven't done that in like 6 years. So, yeah, I love Audible. Man, I'm a big World War II historian, and I'd gotten in on somebody else's offer for a free book, and I'd always wanted to read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by Shire, and it's huge. And it was like, I thought, well, I'm going to get one free book from these guys. Let me get one that's 44 hours long. That book was amazing. It was so good, I went and bought the real book at a used bookstore so I could just pick up and read certain chapters. So, yeah, I'm a huge Audible guy. I still read. I've got like 5 books upstairs I'm reading simultaneously. That's smart. There's nothing better than I'll sit upstairs. Everybody's gone to bed. I put on a little bit of like smooth jazz sometimes. I'll sip whatever we're getting ready to taste, and then I'll have my reading lamp on and just read. God, I love it. I'm reading the whole deal on the Barbary Pirates right now. Okay. You guys are like, Bruno, if he was Scott, sorry, I keep calling him by his other name, he'd be yelling, shut up, but he's not here. Let's see. Michael doesn't pay for TV. You're a genius. I used to hate cable when they served me up 120 channels and all I wanted to watch was 8. I'm like, I don't need this channel, that channel, this channel. Now it is a la carte. I can pick what I want. Speaking of that, Mandalorian, loving it. Loving it. My whole family's sitting down and watching that. Let's see. Books, not so much, says Brick. Sorry, Brick. Oh, Brick, you're missing out. Aaron, favorite book or series? Oh, boy. Well, I'm not really reading a series right now. I would still say my favorite book is probably Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. If you're going for nonfiction. If you're going fiction, man, Lonesome Dove was just fabulous. The characters. I was in the Army, medic in the Army, and there was this like blockhead guy carrying around this thick book. And I'm like, what are you reading? He said, Lonesome Dove. I'm like, what is that, a romance novel? And we almost got in a fight. And he said, no, this is the best book I've ever read. And he was not backing up a step. So I went and like, let me check this out. Man, that book was good. So that's probably my favorite. And the miniseries did it justice if you don't want to read it as well. Let's see. What was back up here? Where are we at? Books, not so much. There we go. Mark likes Westerns. You bet. You can't beat Lonesome Dove. I'm just telling you. Great book. McMurtry is the author. Graham, any background on the folks from Lost Lantern, Bart, Scotch Test Dummies? Just a little bit. I'll get to it. I'm going to go do their vatted malt here in a second. I just wanted to see what we had going, and then I'll do the vatted malt. And really, I covered a lot of it. Nora and Adam started their own company so that they could be independent bottlers. And they spent time, I think they say they've been to 300 or 500 different distilleries, getting to know the people, finding whiskeys that they really like, and then buying a cask, and then doing what they do, which is bringing them to a wider audience. And of course, as independent bottlers, they can always do different things as well, like this blending that they did. Let me do a few more questions, and then I'll get to their vatted American single malt. Bart, from Richie Z. What's your couple favorite go-to anytime bourbons this year? You know, my go-time anytime, I like ECBP, but I can always just grab their regular Elijah Craig small batch too. It is so good. If I'm just grabbing something, I'll grab that. Now, what I'm always doing is making room on my shelf. I need to build these extra shelves so they look like Bruno's with his pipe fittings over here. I'm going to build that over here sometime, maybe never, who knows. But what I'll do is look through and go, okay, which one of these do I need to finish off? And then I'll move it upstairs, and that'll be what I'm working on. So I had a Woodford Reserve right upstairs right now. It was more than half gone. And I thought, okay, let me turn this into my daily drinker until it's full gone. And now it is full gone. And then I brought up a Corsair. Oh, the buckwheat, or it's not buckwheat though. They call it buck yeah. I brought up the buck yeah, and I've been sipping on that. That is such a weird dram, but it's kind of spicy yet sweet. So that's been really fun. Jimmy Leg. Oh, he's just cross chatting. Jimmy Leg, hello to you as well, Bart. Oh, thank you, Jimmy Leg. Brick, he fell in love with ECBP C920. I don't know if we don't see a lot of C's here. We have not seen that one as far as I know, but Scott's the one that's always got his eyes open. But ooh, his bottle's half gone. The ECBP is just an always good. That's what I'm telling you. It's always good. Oh, he says he means the B519. Okay, that one's good. I believe I have that one if I remember right. Richie Z says nice choices. Let me finish this Santa Fe, and then I'm going to try this Lost Lantern. I'll give you some history because this thing just looks like it's going to be amazing. There's almost too much. I got nervous just looking at it. So again, the American Vatted. All right, but you got to look at this. So not only again are there 6 different American single malts in here: Balcones, Copperworks, Santa Fe Spirits, 888. That's in Nantucket, Massachusetts, Westward, and Virginia Distilling Company. But wait till you see what they did here. So I've got a little info sheet on the 2 casks from each one of those distillers that's making up this vatted malt. So real quick, cask 1, this is Balcones, 100% peated Golden Promise malted barley. Now it goes into some more detail. I'm not going to go through all of it or we would be here for a while. But their cask 2 is, let's see, it's the same 100% Golden Promise barley. The difference here is, well, they've both been 30 months matured, a maturation, no finishing on either. And I guess there's 53-gallon used bourbon barrel is what the maturation on cask 2 is. Let's see, there's no finishing, but the other one is the maturation barrel is a 60-gallon on cask 1, ISC New American Oak. Interesting. Copperworks, what do we got here? 100% Washington Select Pale Malt from Great Western Malting. They did a maturation barrel of a 66.5-gallon ex Oloroso sherry barrel straight from Spain. Cask 2, and again, there's more information here. Ooh, hold on. Length of primary maturation, 376 days. Wow. The finishing barrel then is a 53-gallon ex bourbon that they're doing. Woo. Length of second maturation was 1,000, or the finishing 422 days. Wow. The total age of the spirit is 4 years, 11 months. The 2 Balcones were only in 30 months. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so cask 2 is 100% Skagit Valley Alba 6-row pale malt grown on Craig Knutsen's farm. So you're getting all this detail here. I don't want to read off every one of these because there's 2 casks from each one, but it's simply, that is amazing to me. So let's dive into this, and I'm going to use my Riedel cognac glass for this. So let's see, Brick's going to eat. Way to go, Brick. You can't leave now. I'm getting ready to do a Nevada. All right, there is a whole nother one of these sample bottles for Scott, so I won't feel bad if I keep working this one down. Let's see. So are these Lost Lanterns always just from a single or double casks, Bart? I believe, Graham, I think they're doing all kinds of different things, is my understanding. And then they're doing full disclosure, both on the web and with the information that they share. And it looks like from this, they're playing around with a lot of different finishing. So this is they reached out to me, said, this is what we're doing. I said, anyway, we can get a bottle or 2, especially this Vatted. They said, no can do, but we can get you some samples. And I said, do it. So let's see. I'll tell you what I'll do in the post. Once it takes a while for a live show to actually process where then I can get in and into the description, I will type out this information, not all of it, but I'll get a lot of it down on this Lost Lantern. I'll definitely include, I can do it right now. I think that I saw a website. Well, okay, yeah, just lostlanternwhiskey.com. Lostlanternwhiskey.com for more information as well. Let's see, what do we got? Chris, Whiskey Peeps, he's in. Yep, again, for those that came in late, Scott has COVID-19, has lost all taste and smell. So that's why we haven't had shows. That's why my quick hitter went up on Wednesday, and we're doing this live here. He was hoping his taste and smell would come back, but it has yet to do so. So he thought he still might pop in, but he would just be an observer. So George G. Cap says, Big Dog, hey, no, never heard of Lost Lantern. Let's see, Music Man. Wow, the comments are popping. Morning, dummies. Yeah, it's just dummy. Wow. Okay. Whole lot going on here. Creamy and fruity right from the get-go. Then I get that maltiness. Wow, I got like a red wine in the finish. Where did that come from? And then maybe even some tangerine. Wow. So again, this is called, from Lost Lantern, this is edition number 1, American Vatted Malt. It has 2 casks with different maturations. You can see that online, from 6 different distilleries: Balcones, Copperworks, Santa Fe Spirits, 888, Westward, Virginia Distillery Company. The proof is 105, aged 2 years, $120. 3,000 bottles have been released, 750 mils, non-chill filtered, no color added. And then they say again, full barrel details available upon request. All right, let's see. Holy moly, BK, my taste and smell were lost for 4 months. Hold on, let me back that up. Man, I hope that's not the case. This show will be on hiatus for a while. Jimmy, nothing worse than not being able to taste and smell the whiskey. Yeah. Let's see, what do we got? Emil lost my taste for a good week in March, but that's as far as COVID. I should put this over here. Got me. Yeah, I have the antibodies. Yeah, I know. Scott does now too. I think my understanding is he just texted and said he's no longer on quarantine. So let's see. What else do we got? Yeah, we can put one glass, man. Let me grab that. So best wishes for Scott's prompt recovery. Here. What else do we have? I drank a beer the other day and couldn't taste anything, and I got scared. Then I realized that it was Bud Light. I like you, Ivan. I like Ivan. Bird Dog. Hello from Florida, where summer continues to reign. You know what? It's pretty nice here today. It's really nice, like 73 out, beautiful. It's supposed to get down to like 59 tonight. I think I'm going to go out and do a fire. Let's see. Michael, must be hard to make yourself eat without taste. Yeah. Let's see. Jimmy Leg, it's 20 Celsius here in Nova Scotia. Shocking. Let me put a little bit of water in this vatted malt. American vatted malt. Man, there's so many things going on here. But overall, it's creamy. It's layered. I'm even getting that oak, kind of that dry oak in the finish. Let me see what a little bit of water will do. use my little dainty water dropper. Boy, I like that. I knew I was going to like this. I will tell you, though, the only thing here, there is a lot going on. There is a whole lot going on. Let me see what some of these other things are. What do we got? Any other finishes? Well, there's tons. Well, there's too much for me to, I'd be reading off. Go check the website on what's going on with this. 3,000 bottles are out there, so that's awesome. My understanding on this too is they all came together. I think it was the master distillers from all 6 of these distilleries came together in Colorado, and they went through and sampled and kind of, I think, came up with what the mash bill was going to be. Not 100% sure on that, but I know they came together and worked it out. Graham is in. Ding, 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 with a super chat. Put this towards the hot toddy for Scott. Will do, sir. Will do. All right, we'll see if water did anything here. I don't get a lot of changing here. It's still very creamy on the forefront. I get a lot of different tropicals coming across, like a tangerine, but then like a little bit of juicy fruit. Then it's still creamy on the finish, and in the finish as it lingers is where I kind of get that, not quite a dusty wood. It's more like a wet oak taste. Kind of odd. Hopefully it's just that and not worse. Bart, any idea yet on the distribution for Lost Lanterns? Let me see. I don't think I have any distribution information from them, if I remember right. So I'm going to direct you one more time to lostlanternwhiskey.com for distribution questions. So, yeah, I don't see anything on distribution. So, sorry. Let's see what else we got. That's it. I am growing a beard, like I said, and it's got a lot of snow in it. So I'll be dyeing this to get it so it's not all calico. All right, we're at 37 minutes, almost 38. Let me just check and see in case Scott was texting saying, hey, I'll join in a little bit. Nothing. So he wasn't sure he'd make it or not. I will wrap this at 45 minutes, just in case he does want to pop in. And anybody got any other questions? I actually have only talked to Scott on the phone. And first, I had a sister in town, and she was staying with my parents. And I've, of course, been kind of avoiding them a little bit. They're older, and my stepdad is 87 with diabetes. So no need to expose him. But my sister came into town and said, hey, we can't gather, but, just can you at least pick me up and then take me to the airport when I'm done? I was like, sure. Well, moms being moms, I literally stop in the driveway like 30 feet away. Now, this is, Scott had even told me, hey, I've got a head cold. Do you have a head cold? No. So I told mom, hey, we got to stay a little bit apart just in case. And she comes up and goes, well, I'm getting a hug anyway. I'm like, come on, mom. But what are you going to get? What are you going to do? So I get a hug. And then 3 days later or 2 days later, Scott calls and goes, I'm COVID positive. I'm like, oh God. Because we did a show where we were together. Again, we had some distance, so that helped, but I was over at his house. So who knows, And so I let my mom know. She got all kinds of panicky. And I was like, you were the one that kept saying, oh, it's just a hug. I was like, mm-hmm. So when I went and got tested and came back negative, she was like, whew. I was like, mm-hmm. So, all right, let's see. We got Graham loves the winter. I'm a fall guy. Gosh, I like fall. I just love the fall. Winter can wear on me after a while. I am working on getting a wood burning stove insert to my decorative fireplace, which is useless. And this thing's supposed to be able to put out some major BTUs. My wife's from Puerto Rico, as you guys know. That makes me worldly. And so she always wants it super hot, which means like I can't buy as much whiskey as I want because the electrical bill is so high. So I'm looking at putting in a wood burning stove so she can be toasty warm, and I will have, after it breaks me even, I'll have extra money for whiskey. All right, let's see. What do we got here? What is it? Montalban. Oh, Montalban Jr., maybe COVID positive. That's hot. Get tested again at 10 days. I think I was tested at 8 days, if I remember right. So it was all good. And I did 2 versions of it. So, boy, did they tickle the brain, though. The lady handed me a tissue, and I thought, well, I guess it's going in my nose. And then she got to the point where it tickled my brain, and my eyes went bloop and started watering. I'm like, oh, this is for my eyes. Nice stream, Bart. Pray for Scott. Thanks, Graham. So doing all right. Like I said, all I've got are these little samples, but look for Lost Lantern. As they travel around, I like what they're doing, and I love that they're featuring the American single malts. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the American single malt. A huge fan of Iron Root, and I don't have their sample, but they worked with them. So let's see. What is Draminator saying? Let's see. Bart, my boy, are you going to put out any venison in your freezer this hunting season? Not me. I'm not much of a hunter. I lived in the mountains of Colorado, and elk would wander through my yard as a young lad. Deer and elk. I scared a bear once. That was fun. That was joyful. Nothing against it, but just never got into the hunting. I even liked the taste of venison. So, Graham, Bart, I had to do my own swab at work. Wow, it's a tickler for sure. You did your own? Man, I'd be afraid of going too far. Yeah, she hit the first nostril and said, you have dry sinuses. I'm like, what does that mean? And it turned out it meant she couldn't quite go far enough. And then she hit the other one and, no, I got it there. And I was like, yeah, I can tell. Whiskey goes well in cold and cool weather, especially peated whiskey. Peated whiskey, Mark, especially. Let's see. I'm going to wrap this in just 2 minutes. Terrace coming off Scotch single malts in January, hopefully. Yeah, thank goodness. Well, there you go. There's a nice one. Yeah, hopefully. You know what, though? I'm always suspicious because the tariffs will come off and then the price won't go down. And you're like, hey, what's going on? What's going on here? What's going on? Just in time as always. Christmas on Crestline. Well, I was letting everybody know that Scott can't be here because he's got COVID-19. He did say I could release this information, and his taster and smeller are no good. No good at all. And Christmas on Crestline, I am sampling Lost Lantern. They sent me some samples. This is a Vatted American single malt with 6 different distilleries with 2 casks per distillery. Extra full disclosure, you can go to their website and you can ask them all kinds of things about the types of wood and everything. Scott must be watching. Feel better, buddy. Yeah, I'm sure he's watching. I figured he would pop on. If I kept reading, it would drive him nuts, and he'd say, quit reading the paper and come back on the show. Richie Z, Bart, what's your favorite type of pizza and toppings? I love meat lovers and combo. Well, there you go. I'm a meat lovers guy, and I like a big old deep dish. That Chicago style deep dish stuff is phenomenal, and I love it. Love it. I got a brother that lives outside of Chicago. So whenever I can, and there's plenty of places that now know that that super large deep dish is awesome. So that's definitely my favorite pizza. All right. We're at our time, 45 minutes. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully Scott will be fully recovered soon and we can get back to filming some shows because I know you guys don't want to keep seeing my quick hitters. We got to have the other side. I'm the crazy goof and he's the solid tactician. Scotch it, you Scotch gods. Sláinte.